Please don't do this. Please don't do this. I'm sorry. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not ready. I didn't mean to do it. Welcome to Mike's Gaming Gala. I'm Mike, and this week we're looking at the sequel to a game we've talked about before. It's Death Row 2 for the Nintendo Game Boy, programmed by Mad Sox Games. Now, unfortunately, this doesn't yet have a physical release. However, both this and Death Row 2 are available on itch.io. The original game is $3 and Death Row 2 is $6. However, viewers of this channel can get 50% off by purchasing from this link. I'll also have it in the description. Note that this isn't a sponsored review and I get no kickback from anyone using that link. It's simply a discount for either one or both of the games, and it'll be available until the end of January 2025. So use it now or forever hold your peace. Of course, before you do that, you probably want to know what Death Row is all about. Let's take a look. Turning on our system, we get a title screen with intense and moody music. Our only prompt here is to press start, and doing so gives us the option to start a new game or enter a password. We'll get to the password later, but since we haven't even started yet, let's just start a new game. In the Death Row games, you play as a convicted murderer facing the electric chair. It'll be your goal to try and escape that fate. Leaving your cell, you find yourself in cell block A, the first of 2 blocks that you'll visit in the game, if you play your cards right. Here in cell block A, you have access to a variety of rooms, including your cell, the cells of 2 fellow inmates, the cafeteria, and the exercise yard. You can interact with everyone you see, as well as several items in your environment. You have 5 days before your execution, and you can only perform 3 actions each day. Somehow, you must use those actions to avoid execution. It can be done, but it isn't going to be easy. Death Row 2 is a unique puzzle game that will involve a lot of trial and error. You're going to die a lot. We're not going to do a full walkthrough here, as that would kind of ruin the fun. But let's take a look at some of the characters you'll encounter, as well as some of the predicaments you may find yourself in. The first is your fellow inmates. They're all on death row as well, and as the days go by, the more you talk to them, the more you'll discover their stories. That is, of course, until their time comes, at which point their cells will be empty, a silence that is deafening and foreboding. There's also a priest, guards, a chef who you can befriend, and other inmates in the yard. Talking with the people you encounter can give you hints of what to do, or even provide you with actions that you can take that will help you in your escape. In addition to people, there are items that will prove invaluable. Interacting with everything you can is vital to solving this Groundhog Day from hell. That said, very rarely is it immediately clear what you need to do with these. And be selective with your actions, because there are some items you won't need. If you're successful enough to survive past day 5, that means you've found a way to avoid the shock. At least for now. And you're transferred to cell block B. You wake up in the infirmary, and when you do, you get a password. Remember the passcode option at the title menu? That was for this. You can continue from this point if you don't have the time to play through in one go. That said, in order to beat the game, there are some things from cell block A that you need to have gotten at the right time. If you don't have them, the password you receive here won't allow you to actually beat the game. The password I showed you here? Yeah, sorry guys, you're not gonna win with it. But feel free to use it if you're stuck in cell block A and at least want to see the second section. Cell block B has a lot of similarities to A, but here you have new people to talk with and a couple of different areas to explore. Of course, there's the nurse, who you can befriend, more fellow inmates, another priest, the executioner, and even the warden of the prison. Once again, talking to everyone each day will reveal their stories and provide clues to your potential escape. One of the most tragic is a fellow inmate named Innocent Santos. It's a sad day in the prison when you visit his room and it's empty. Performing some required steps will eventually get you access to both cell blocks at once, and it's at this point things really ramp up for your escape. If you manage to figure it out, there's one final pitch black maze to solve before at long last you reach freedom. Now, having explained all of that, there's a couple of things that you may or may not experience in your gameplay that aren't integral, but worth showing. First is this switch on the wall in both sections. Interacting with it gives you access to the radio, allowing you to change the music that you play from several different tracks that vary from being sad and mournful to energetic and almost angry. Next, if you get a bit greedy and try to escape early, you can get caught. If this happens, it's game over. But not before you're made to contemplate your mistake by being sent to solitary confinement. This is agonizing because there's nothing you can do except wait for your execution. There are also some more lighthearted moments in the game, such as returning to your old cell after you've advanced to cell block B. You find that it's already been reassigned and the new inmate isn't exactly impressed that you've returned. Lastly, not lighthearted and something that you're going to see a lot of is your final minutes walking to the chair. Much like the first game, this is a very sobering walk, and everyone you talk to has the same dialogue. Dead man walking. At the end, you have to sit in the chair willingly. You have no choice in the matter, but you have to interact with the chair in order to finish and start over. At no point does it get easier, and each time only serves to inspire you to not make the same mistakes next time. And that's Death Row 2 for the Nintendo Game Boy. So what did I think? Like the first one, I absolutely love this game. I love the subject matter, and I love the stories that you can discover about yourself and the other inmates. Unlike its predecessor though, this one provides more value in terms of playtime, taking between 2 and 3 hours to complete if you don't have any kind of walkthrough to help you out, as opposed to the hour or so that it will take you to beat the first game. I will say that if you have any interest in picking it up, don't watch my gameplay footage tomorrow. It's a complete playthrough after I already learned the solution to all the puzzles, and will absolutely ruin the fun for you. If you do buy it and get stuck, then have a peek and get some help if you need it. Death Row 2 is more challenging than Death Row, but by no means impossible. I highly recommend you try it out, especially considering that with the link that I've put in the description, you can get both games for a mere $4.50. It would be wonderful if these two got combined onto a cartridge and were released as a complete in-box game. I know I'd pick one up for sure. Thank you for watching my video, I hope you liked it, and thank you so much to my channel members. I appreciate your support so much. A special thank you to Casey the Intellivision Gamer, who gifted 5 memberships for the month. Very generous of you and deserving of a special shout out. As always, my contact info is in the description, and we'll see you next time on Mike's Gaming Gala.